What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Finally, after what feels like going around in circles for months, we have the fights that I think make absolute perfect sense in the middleweight division, right? Absolute sense. My only gripe is that you have Charlo on the outside looking in. Remember, he is mandatory for Canelo's WBC belt, but the WBC don't seem to be doing anything. So that's my only gripe. But apart from that, these two fights make absolute sense. So what we're hearing, and it's not signed, sealed, and delivered yet, but I think we're close. We might get an announcement in the next sort of 10 days or so, is Derevyanchenko versus Golovkin for the vacant IBF title. Remember, Canelo was stripped today of that title. So GGG versus Derevyanchenko for the vacant title. And on this side, Canelo versus Demetrius Andrade. I mean, you can't get better than that. And you know the way my brain works. I'm already thinking these are almost like two semi-finals and then a big unification fight. Cinco de Mayo, is that what you call it? Cinco de Mayo for everything, for all the marbles, for the undisputed number one. Makes absolute perfect sense, right? I still don't know how we got to this, but I'm very, very happy. I've been screaming for Demetrius Andrade to get his shot against Canelo, but it seemed unlikely. Let's be honest, in the beginning, it was supposed to be GGG versus Canelo, massive fight in the zone, trilogy, signed and sealed, right? GGG was supposed to beat Steve Rolls and then done, they get the trilogy on. It didn't happen. I think they offered GGG low money. He didn't accept it. Then we started hearing names like Munguia. Let's not forget that. Then Kovalev came along. I don't know why at 175. And then we started hearing about Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko made sense. I was happy with that. And now we're hearing that Canelo and Demetrius Andrade are in serious negotiations for a unification fight. Makes absolute sense. And on this side, Derevyanchenko versus Golovkin makes sense as well. Derevyanchenko looked okay against Danny Jacobs. Looked okay. Golovkin is starting to look old. I think it's a perfect fight. Let Golovkin win a belt and then fight the winner of that fight. I hated the idea of Golovkin beating Steve Rolls. Steve Rolls a nobody and then getting Canelo. No. I want Golovkin to prove to me that he's still what I think he is, which is a very, very elite middleweight. And I think if he can run through Derevyanchenko, then it all makes sense, people. It all makes sense. So what do you guys think of this? Andrade versus Canelo, GGG versus Derevyanchenko. What do you guys make of the IBF stripping Canelo? I mean, I'm all for it, by the way. I like the fact that the IBF are thinking, fuck names, we will strip you. But it doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, he only won this belt from Danny Jacobs. Doesn't he get a voluntary? Am I missing timelines here? Didn't he beat Danny Jacobs for the IBF belt in what, May? Surely you get a voluntary and then you're mandatory. I'm a bit confused. I mean, look, I like it, but I'd love the WBC to do the same thing. I mentioned earlier in the show, Charlo's been waiting for his mandatory shot against Canelo and we're hearing nothing. So it's all well and good the IBF doing that, but again, I want to see it across the board. But I am shocked that they've stripped him. I don't know what's happened, but I'm shocked. But nonetheless, we get a good fight. So for the vacant IBF title, GGG versus Derevyanchenko. For the WBO, WBA, and WBC belt, Demetrius Andrade versus Canelo. I'm telling you now, the winners will meet in May. These guys are all going to get it on October, November. And then May, 6 months turnaround. Yeah, absolutely perfect. 6 months turnaround. The winners will fight each other. The winners of these fights will be, obviously, probably Canelo GGG. But don't be shocked if Demetrius Andrade causes a problem. Don't be shocked. He's a bit of a mover. I mean, the problem is, has he got the power to hurt Canelo? No, he hasn't. So will he win on points? No, he won't. So Canelo will win that one. Derevyanchenko, that's going to be GGG Canelo, isn't it? I mean, it's going to be GGG Canelo in the end, right? But regardless, let's find a way to get there. And I think this is the perfect way to get there. What do you guys think? Let me know. Peace.